Alright, hello everyone, how are we doing? I hope you're all doing well, hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. We are here, of course, to watch the Warhammer reveal show later on. We'll be hobbying in the time before that. And so, yeah, welcome to everyone who has joined in so far. Like I said, drop the question, let us know what you want to see, what you think is going to happen. What you predict we're going to see, what you think you'll see, and what you want us to see, because of course very different questions. I'm not going to be working on Warhammer tonight. I've got some Conquest stuff to work on while we wait for the thing. I'm currently painting the brand new Weaver Courts, which are essentially the Conquest Wood Elves. They're alien race that have come to the planet that all sort of use biomancy to combine natural elements with their own bodies. And so that's who we are painting up. Slowly coming along. Vampire Coast would be amazing. I think if we're going to see Old World, I reckon it'd probably be either Cathay, Wave 2, or Kislev. I think that's what we're looking at. Old World. But don't get me wrong, I would love to see. And so yeah, this is our first review stream as an official Warhammer hero, because I even have the shirt now. And I got the badge. I should actually grab that. Give me 1 sec. Show it off. The Dan Hammer group who nominated us means a hell of a lot to get it from the community. And so massive thank you there. Over here in Australia, and the kids as well, they were really great. They even brought some plushies, some models. They brought my little dude who's just getting into Warhammer, the 2 special minis, and they bought some plushies for the kids, although one of my little boys is wanting me to keep his Griffhound. This will be the Griffhound that joins us on stream all the time now. His name is Raw, according to the kids. Vampire Coast would be cool. You'd love to see more love for K-Knights in AOS. I do think, like, my prediction of K-Knights in Age of Sigmar would be that we are probably going to see the Dark Elves from cities moved into Daughters of Cain to make a full Druchii army again. Like, the lore seems to be heading that way, obviously with Harkuron and all that. So reveal show is at 11, so it'll be about an hour and 15 minutes away. We'll probably start looking at that about an hour away. But for the meantime, we are going to keep working on these new Weaver Courts. We've got 24 of these guys. These are the Kern Skirmishers for the Weaver Courts. And don't forget, if you are watching, to drop us a like on the video. It helps people come find us and all that, and all the good stuff like YouTube members and super chat and all that is up and available for anyone who wishes to support the channel more. So, had a pretty busy week. Apologies if my voice does start to give out. I've not been the wellest of people this week. So we're just re-layering up some orange. So yeah. Comics called Demons come from Soul. It wouldn't surprise me. Like, I do think we're probably going to see Nurgle as part of the Darkwater. I mean, that's what it's clearly shown already. The Warhammer Quest Darkwater. Be interesting to see exactly what we get in that. Wonder if we were good pestigores and whatever corn ones were. Corn gores. They were called corn gores. Dangor, pestigore, corn gore, slangor. Like, it makes sense. Like, they're obviously all on. The fact we have slangor, the fact we have zangor, we are going to get pestigore. We know they're in. We know the pestigores are in the new Warhammer quest, or at least we assume they're pestigore, considering it's no good thing. Dark Water, that's the name. I have no idea on that. I'm not too sure what box you're referring to there, Andrew. Oh, a bunch of Destroyer Cult stuff. I mean, I would be really keen. I love the Destroyer Cult stuff. So, I'm not sure on that one, buddy. I mean, I would certainly be keen to see a lot of Destroyer Cult stuff. It's some of my favourite stuff from the Necron range. Nice. I do have a game up on the channel, one of the more recent games, well, it's not too recent, but I do have a game up against Necrons on the channel that was against a Mate's Destroyer Cult stuff. So, if you're interested in checking that out, that will be there. Yeah, I was very happy the other day to see a ton of new Warcry updates. Which, those who watch the channel know I absolutely love Warcry. So really happy to see we got that as updated. And got a bunch more other updates, like other games of course. Keen to get working on some new Blood Bowl. We'll have Blood Bowl and Kill Team coming to the channel soon. Yeah, if you're joining us, let us know what you want to see, what you think we'll see on the reveal show. Just put it up. So. Yeah, we a few things floating around for that. If you've seen them, you've seen them. If you haven't, you haven't. But nothing too groundbreaking on that. Then of course we've got the main two games in Warhammer 40,000 and Age of Sigmar. We then got Old World and Heresy, the two secondary games, a Warcry, and no Kill Team. First time in a while we've not seen a Kill Team or an Underworld on one of these. Normally they're thrown in, but really excited to see that Warhammer quest in full though. Yeah, Warcry. So Warcry is not going to be shown today, but Warcry did just have a massive up. All free to download now that were printed in White Dwarf and Spite and Bone, I believe it was. The abilities came in the box set that came with the Sylvaneth, the Twist Wield, and the Tyrannic Cohort from the Ossiarch. So that's all printed for free, and some big changes in a few of the abilities. The Hellsmiths, yeah, but like the Hellsmiths weren't the big update. The big update was the rules. So Rampage is gone. No more plus move attack quad. That was a massive thing. You now can get it only if half your warband's taken down. So the quad is if half your warband or more is taken down, you get a free move up to the number of inches equal to the ability, and then an attack if you end in combat. And the other big change was Onslaught, which was the +1 attack for each attack action you make that round, is now a triple, while Respite became a double, which is heal up to the value of the ability the fighter you activated on, so long as you're not in combat. I think they are massively positive changes, because the big, probably the worst thing about Warcry has been quad abilities and double abilities. Are they worth the attacks? And normally, like, your triples are normally pretty good, and normally your triples are direct damage and healing, which are the ones that sort of really do compete. Quads were always, you either had a quad that was super specific and was good, but it was only in a very specific way, and only very specific times was it better than the ability. So I think really, really positive changes for Warcry, which I still thought anyway was one of GW's better produced games. Probably other major thing with that too is we did see a bunch of the new Underworld's warbands, all the more recent ones, so the Hellsmith one, the Sylvaneth one, and the Blades of Khorne one, all got rules, and it got revealed that none of the new warbands from the new season of Warcry are Bladeborn. They are just fighters for those warbands. So it does seem like Bladeborn potentially is on the way out, and they'll just be fighters for the warbands and what they're from. And the Von Grimm Harpoon Crew. Got added as just a pure KO unit, not a warband in their own right, which is interesting. I think Bladeborn served a purpose for a while. I don't think it's needed quite as much anymore. It definitely served a purpose for a while when some of the warbands were quite light on fighters, but as Age of Sigmar has grown and we've got more fighters for different warbands, I don't think it's needed as much. Really, I think the only ones struggling are a few of the demon ones that don't have enough, I think, and they are few and far between now, because obviously Slaanesh has a Thriceworld Discord, the Nurgle one's going there, Zinch has its own demon warbands because Ephelim is part of that warband. I think really it's only Khorne Demons that are struggling to have like a good roster of fighters. I think Bladeborn really only affects them now. I don't mind the Demon Mortal split. I think it's fine now. We've seen like expansions in those. I think the real only demon one that struggles now to hold up on its own is the Khorne Demons. I think you could fix that. Add in like, give them Skull Taker. Put Skull Taker in the game, and I think you massively see a different shift in like how they play. Give us like a 275, 300 point fighter that is Skull Taker that goes in and just murders everyone. Nice. It'll be interesting to see whether we get this new Warhammer quest stuff in Warcry. Let's see, they've added a bit of Silver Tower, not Silver Tower, what's it called, Curse City? I just wish we got the rest of the order fighters and not just Jensen Darroch. Oh, 100%. I would like to see. I do think one of the things that's missing from Order, because Order doesn't have throws like all the other ones do. I think Gryph-hound should just be an Order throw. So anyone can take them. 90 points, be able to fill out your warband with a decentish fighter. Yeah, it would be cool to see like the. I'm just gonna see. Alright, here we go. Finally got the chat. For some reason, the chat box, I just realised that the chat box wasn't going. Yeah, I do think like maybe move over the flagellants to it, or like give them access to them would be cool. That's definitely a cool idea. Yeah, massively just the Warhammer, Mordheim warband updated would be a really cool thing to see. I did like seeing the Vengeance though. I like seeing some of the named characters that like really do like work in that true skirmish game. Like, give me rules to play Malineth in Warcry. Gotrek in Warcry is like a suitable character. All those foot characters, the Vengeance, they all work so well in Warcry. I don't want every named character in Warcry. I think there are ones that suit that style of like setting. Reminds me of the Warhammer Underworlds, the multiplayer one with the Gargant they brought out. Oh, it's getting a bit chilly in here. It's just crazy to say. It's like late in the year and it is cold in Australia. Especially in my part of Australia. Okay. I'm interested to see Warhammer Quest Darkwater and what they're going to do with like the single board. Cause, like, it very much appears like a board game rather than a, you know, that choose your own adventure. The fact it's on one board, it's going to be interesting what sort of happens with that, what that sort of go is. So what are we all thinking about the new Warhammer Quest? What are your thoughts and things on what we've seen of it so far? The fact that it's like just a single board, it's not sort of like the expansive area of like previous ones like Silver Tower and Hammer Hall and yeah, I'm very interested in him. I love the bear dude. Acting players good enough, though. That's my character that I'm playing with, sort of. like something I would have expected to come out of Age of Sigmar First Edition. Like, that's what it reminds me of when, like, you know, reminds me of things like the original Seraphon warband for Underworlds that wasn't really changed, the original sort of units we saw for armies that weren't quite Age of Sigmarified entirely yet. In the end, I don't really care what it looks like. I want to see how it plays. I think that's the most important thing. Because like, it does look like it's going to play very differently to any Warhammer Quest we've seen from GW since like AOS's inception. Definitely doesn't look like it's going to require a DM, so we're not going down the shadows of a Hammerhall path again. Morning, mate. How are we? And like, honestly, I'm happy that it's not the same. Like, I know there's been some talk of people like, oh, it's different than the other Warhammer quests. I don't know whether I'm going to like it. I'm like, I'm actually happy. Like, I have Silver Tower, I have Hammerhall, I have Curse City. I don't want it to be the same as them. Otherwise, you know, it's just the same game with different minis. I'm like, I could make those rules myself. I like that it's a different game in itself. This gives me something different to play. It'll scratch a different itch. The same reason why I like lots of different mini games. They all scratch a different itch. You know, I believe Conquest, Kings of War, Old World, despite all being rank and flank, they all play differently. They all give me a different feeling. I wish I had just woken up. I've been up for way too long now, like 5.5 hours since the kids decided to wake up this morning at 5 o'clock. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, I can have late ones and still be up. Benefit of a... Yeah, my body clock is all over the place. Fair. Oh, that's just the one. The tiny one. And the new knife and all that, you know. Big cutting mats. This one, the black one underneath from Army Painter. we have about 20 minutes until the reveal show starts. Okay, can just get the rest of the orange layer done on all these so I can reveal show start time. Predictions coming in, people, please. What do we think we're going to see? Trying to watch the reveal shows live, get their enjoyment from it. I mean, I've been a little bit out of it myself just due to work and going away and all that. I mean, Necromunda, I have no idea. I never have any. I mean, we're obviously going to see like the full reveal of Darkwater, Age of Sigmar, probably the Ogres. 40k would be. I think we're going to see the stuff we saw in those reveals. So I'd say we see Ogres, maybe some Bone Reapers for Age of Sigmar as well. But I think Ogres will be the big one for Age of Sigmar and stuff. $40k, with Drukhari haven't got their book. Everyone having a book now in 40k, is it not? I think maybe we might start to see the first of like our end of edition stuff. Yeah, yeah, so like 40k, I'm not really sure what we're going to see. Heresy, another Demon Primarch maybe? These are the new Weaver Courts from Conquest. Or Wood Elf like race, anyway. Cool. Got one more to finish this orange layer on. I love Conquest. I think it is probably one of my favourite games. Mini-wise, it's amazing. Alright. Alright, just give me a sec. We're going to rearrange the stream. See, three game systems are interesting because I don't think it would matter what game systems I took. I would want three different game systems. So I'd take something like Conquest, a rank and flank, or it would be Old World or Kings of War. It'd be one of those three. I'd take a skirmish game, so Warcry, Torch and Shield, that sort of stuff, Rain and Hell. And that would probably be like my aim to be if I had three games. It wouldn't be like three games. I'd want three different types of games to scratch three different itches. I'd probably have, you know, make sure there's a sci-fi game or a science fantasy game in there. I think it's that one. No, that's the wrong one. There's that one that needs to go. That one needs to come up. Just give me a sec. Just checking how this looks. Okay, for some reason that's not. Why is that? Just try. We will turn that off. There we go, that's better. Cool, that's all stand. No one will want it. So yeah. So yeah, as we move into this last bit here, before the reveal stream starts, like, let's get in those predictions for anyone that is watching. Alright. Music they've currently got playing. It's actually from the Warhammer Quest game you can download on, like, really good game. So, not too long now. I'll be back in just a jiffy. Right. So, pretty much just waiting for it to start now. It should be starting any minute on the reveal show. Let's start slapping some wash down so we don't have to do anything too crazy. So we know the Warhammer Quest Dark Water is going to be the big reveal, Nick. That'll be like the big centerpiece. We know we're getting Age of Sigmar, 40k, Horus Heresy, Legions Imperialis, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and Necromunda all revealed. I would say we're probably due to see Ogres for Age of Sigmar. Horus Heresy, maybe the next Demon Primarch. We've got Fulgurs, maybe the next stuff on that. Legion Imperialis, maybe some Dark Mechanicum. Necromunda, who knows, whatever they decide to bring out in that next. Old World as well. Maybe we're going to see the next lot of Cathay stuff, or maybe some Kislev, maybe something else random. So we did just see all those random Marauders get revealed for Old World, which was really cool. Yeah, we don't know specifics of what's getting revealed, but we know game systems. Have they got no sound? Surely they've got no sound. I think they've just realised they've got no sound.
As you might have gathered, watching along at home, we are joined by a live audience today. There are over 1,000 Warhammer fans in the room with us, attendees of the World Championship and attendees of the Grand Narrative. I think you heard them cheer already, but just for everybody watching at home, if you can give us another huge cheer, everybody in the room, please.
Are their mics not working properly?
And we can see there are already thousands of you watching along at home on the stream. Do let us know where you're tuning in from. We have people here from over 50 countries representing their various different countries at the World Championships and joining us for the Grand Narrative.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really fun over the last couple of days to see the event start to kick off and to see where people have come to participate here from all around the world, watching as the opening ceremony took place. And we saw just hundreds of participants from Mexico, from Brazil, Uruguay. Team France is here in enormous numbers. Canada, so normally this is the part in the chat where I'd say, hey, where are you tuning in from? But we've got more than 50 nations represented right here in this room. So let the people know where you're from by giving us a big cheer right now.
Yeah, I can't hear that crowd. It's so bad because it's just like, the crowd's just like, cheer,
as you can gather, there's a really excited and engaged home crowd as well. It's fantastic, the great people here in the United States welcoming us and hosting us. It's really lovely to be here. Now, what is the World Championships of Warhammer and what is the Grand Narrative and why are we here? Well, we've got a little reel to show you what it's about.
Their sound is so bad now. Oh my god. Like, their levels just like you've gone from this to that. Like, how do I, on my shitty laptop, got sound better than them? Oh my god! You hear the level of their sound check? I'm having to adjust my sound as this go.
There we are. That is... I'm not used to having to pause for applause after every video. We're going to have to get used to that, I think. That is the World Championships, just a little taste of what's going on here at the World Championships of Warhammer and the Grand Narrative. And I think it's just a really lovely event so far. This has been a really amazing celebration of Warhammer and the hobby in general.
Yeah, to see like the better part of 1,000 people participating in a really good-natured, but highly competitive tournament, and then to watch all of these people enjoying the Grand Narrative, where they're exploring the Warhammer 40,000 universe through these linked campaign games, has been a real thrill. One of the other things that Eddie and I have been talking about, and is apparent this year, is that it's the 50th anniversary of Games Workshop as a company, which is quite a milestone. And it got us thinking about like what that means for us, right? I've been in the Games Workshop hobby now for 36 years or so, and except for my wife, all of my favourite people in my life, all of my best friends, I've met through the Warhammer hobby.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, you're welcome. And many of them at events exactly like this. I've been to birthdays and christenings and weddings and funerals, all with these wonderful friends that I've made around the world because of the Warhammer hobby and what it's brought into my life. And that's a real boon to me. I think Games Workshop did something really special when Warhammer came into the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And there will be lots of celebrations over on...
So that entire chat...
the Warhammer community website.
Oh, the thing is just going how bad the audio is on this.
At the 50 years of Games Workshop and celebrate this amazing hobby we're all part of.
Awesome. So...
But you didn't come for that, did you?
You did not come
for
that.
that.
So, what really remains now is to tell everybody here and everybody at home how the rest of this show is going to work. For the next hour and 15 minutes or so, probably, we've got loads of fantastic Warhammer reveals for you.
Hour and 15, okay. There you've got a...
One out in that video that we did a while ago. But we've got Warhammer Age of Sigmar, we've got the Old World, we've got the Horus Heresy, Necromunda, and Warhammer 40,000. So there's loads of great stuff to enjoy. Should we start with our first reveal?
I think we should have our first reveal. We waited long enough.
Right, let's run the show.
Let's have a look. What do we see? Alright, here we go. Warhammer Quest. Oh, damn, they are cool. Their sound is terrible. I'm so sorry everyone about the sound.
Ladies and
Now the
gentlemen,
lighting's not working.
we are really excited to preview to you today Warhammer Quest Darkwater, the latest
No worries, Nick.
iteration of the extremely popular Warhammer Quest series, and it's a fantastic.
Now their lighting's not
set in
working.
the mortal realms. Eddie, what can you tell us about Darkwater?
Yeah, so those of you who are familiar with Warhammer Quest, you might have played some of the Warhammer Quests in the past. It is effectively you and a band of friends go on an adventure into the darker, more grim places within the Warhammer setting. In this particular one, you are going into the Jade Abbey, which is deep in the realm of life in an area corrupted by Nurgle. And as you saw there in the video, there is an amazing range of Magican of Nurgle miniatures in that box set for your heroes to fight against. So yeah, should we have a look at some?
Yes,
Fantastic.
it's
Yeah, let's see the models.
So some of these ones we have already had a chance to look at on the Warhammer community website. We've previewed a few of the heroes already. We'll have a quick rattle through some of those. But first off, this is the full box set spread there, and you can see you've got a whole bunch of new Warhammer miniatures in there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's everything you need to have these outstanding adventures and to explore the Jade Abbey. We'll talk in more detail about some of the things that, if you are familiar with previous iterations of Warhammer Quest, might be raising some questions, in particular the board. Don't worry, we'll show you everything you need to know. Let's look in some detail at the miniatures. He says.
Texture
Now,
is
I mean, I can describe them here on the map for you while we wait for the next tile to come along. I'll tell you about the map while we wait for the. Oh, there we
There
go.
it is, there
Thanks,
it is.
save from having the
Save.
ad lib. Good lord. So here is Edmark Valoran. He's known as the Manticore Knight, and he's essentially a warrior so arrogant he believes he's the greatest immortal warrior in the service of Sigmar, and he's looking for a quest.
Alright, so model-wise, like, this dude is amazing.
So he's joined this mission into the Jade Abbey to redeem it from the clutches of Nurgle. If you want to be a supernally arrogant and expert warrior and just like wail on the enemy with a big war axe, this is the guy.
Sorry.
Yeah, very cool miniature. We have seen this one before already, so we'll move
Absolutely.
on swiftly to some of the next heroes, hopefully, that we can have a look at. Here we are. There's another one that we have, I think, seen already, but a very cool model, so we'll just look at it for a little bit. This is Anara Scion, the Cleansing Blade. She is one of the last survivors of the Jade Abbey's fall, and she has come back with the power of the realm of Gyron to try and cleanse the forces of Nurgle from her former abbey.
Oh, that is really cool, that sword, and like the water drop actually connects to the back of the blade to give like the idea that it's like flying around and not connected.
Anara's still showing off to everybody. She carries an amphora of the cleansing waters that the Jade
Wow,
Abbey
I really dig how they've actually made that mini, like the water like being in different bits.
This is Bren Tylis.
This is Age of Sigmar.
She's the descendant of a real proper saint, but she's lived her life. She's lived her life as a warrior mercenary and now feels a higher call, so she's scavenged the armor of her ancestor, her forebear, and she's joining this quest to try and make something of herself. Hence, she's taken that name.
Yeah, like that water effect, like that makes me think like really cool like design and idea on how they've made
This is my favourite
that.
of the heroes in the box by a long way. I've waited quite a
Reminds
long
me of
time
like
to see
Eltharion
Warhammer
and how they made that
like
work.
this. This is
That was really cool. Hadn't noticed that before.
The arch enemy in Darkwater enacted a horror on his hold and flooded it with fetid waters and drove his people out. So he's on a vengeance quest. He's joined this mission into Darkwater to.
I love that they've got the actual like tree dwarves coming into it. That's really cool as well.
You can't quite see it on these shots, but he does have a crossbow on his back.
He does,
as well.
like a foldable crossbow on his back.
But we've seen these ones already. Let's have a look at something new, shall we? Here we are. This is Kelfanor, the Forest Prince. This is a Kernothi hero, so a kind of silver nether-lined
What character I'm playing with?
Picked out the demon prince that squats at the heart of the Jade Abbey to kill. He is going to claim that head for the god of the hunt.
Fantastic. Rashavorn, he's a chieftain of a tribe of savage warriors who live in the realm of life. And he's got an interesting thing on his side. You can see the Ebon Claw, which gives him this power to take on a more feral and savage aspect.
Oh, they've
And
given him the Ebon
he's
Claw.
blood. He's absolutely gunning for.
That has appeared already in the Eight Lamentations. That
they live by the rivers that flow through it, and
turns people into like skin wolves and all that sort of stuff.
The sort of toxins that come out of the Jade Abbey since its fall.
Absolutely, yeah, very cool. There is, you can see him from various different angles. He was once a man, is slowly morphing into a creature of Gyron, a kind of half beast, half man. It's a pretty classic.
Now it's been, I'm guessing it's been uncorrupted.
Next up, this might be my favourite from the box. This is Jacobus Vine, the Jade Wizard. We've had Jade Wizards in Warhammer for almost like 40 plus years, I think. But this is
This dude is freaking cool.
from the realm of life and the realm of Gyron. And as you can see there, he's accompanied by Spiked Spirit of the realm of Gyron there. He has a little owl creature on his shoulder and a fox-like.
Did their stream just die? What the hell is happening here? Sorry about that, everyone.
Abbey,
I am sorry.
Not very dangerous, but if you find yourself cornered, they'll surround
Here you go.
and pull you down. You have to be careful about them at
So
all.
these weird little critters. What is this doing? God damn. Apologies, everyone.
The one with the big eye is just adorable, isn't it?
It is a
I'm
little
just
bit
going to leave it like this for now.
There we are. Those are the treasure tokens.
Don't know why it is being a little bit of a bugger. They are having some serious trouble.
Heroes. Individually, again, not all that scary, although certainly scarier than Maya Kelpies. But together they can drag your heroes down, and those rusted blades.
Apologies, but their stream is being absolutely
there's loads of
awful.
interesting cues as well that sort of key into Nurgle and what we know about it, the sort of swirling limbs in the pustules and the buboes and things. But a thing to look for is all these walls, these circular patterns that you see on all of the war gear. That's a recurring motif throughout the Jade Abbey. And was sort of once, I guess, connected to the realm of life and the sort of the positive things. You saw it on the Jade Wizard staff, but now it's been corrupted and subverted into something entirely unpleasant.
Yeah, you can see the kind of symbol of Gyron is slowly morphing into the symbol of Nurgle there on the ghost breastplate.
Apologies,
There we go,
everyone.
that's the Pox Wretches.
Maybe
one step
after
up from
this
those
reveal
are
show,
the
if it continues
Magnet
to be
of Nurgle
awful, we will go have a look through everything
Pestigors,
properly.
obviously part of Warhammer for a long time. Oh, we can hear some big fans of Pestigors in the crowd there.
The Pestigor Massive have turned out.
Pestigor is Bestigor, as they say. So there's a whole bunch of these guys. They are sort of rotten goats with various different farming implements and shields and all sorts of things. And as you would imagine, these are beast men, so they're fairly durable. They hit fairly hard. They're certainly a step up from the Pox Wretches. And if you get into a fight with too many of these, they will drag your heroes down.
Perfect. But there are bigger and more dangerous things to be found inside the Jade Abbey than these. These are the Cankerborn.
Oh,
This is what it looks like. We've seen what it looks like when demons possess weapons or demons possess creatures. This is what it looks like when demons literally possess the ground. These are hideous conglomerations of the ground of the Jade Abbey combined with demonic essence, and you can see they've got stones and rocks in their shoulders. They've got 3 heads that look like plague bearers. These are foul creatures.
these are cool.
Extremely dangerous.
Yeah, you can see like bits of ancient sacred stone is on
Disgusting,
there. You can
but
imagine that
so
Nurgle has
cool.
infested the land around them, and these sort of like henge-like structures are kind of coming out of the ground. They would have previously been in the sort of sacred fens of Gyron, but this has been well and truly infested by Nurgle. You can see the heads are quite reminiscent of a plague bearer, but these guys stand almost like 50% again taller than a normal plague bearer. They've got a kind of triple head, 3 eyes in the symbol of Nurgle. They are a pretty formidable foe for your heroes to face.
Absolutely. Next, I think is probably going to get the biggest reaction. Here is my hunch after we've seen these. These are the Blight Templars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is an elite unit of Maggotkin. They are
These
effectively
are cool.
former Templar defenders of the Jade Abbey, fallen to
These are the dudes
plagues of Nurgle,
straight
so
out
very
of
well armored,
Plague
very
Garden.
durable. You know, Knights of Nurgle, effectively, and these are some of the toughest troops your guys are going to face as you venture into the Jade Abbey.
Absolutely.
And so this sort of gives us an idea of what Maggotkin and Nurgle are going to get as a release, I guess.
This is my favourite model in the set. If you didn't hear that at home, that was the crowd going wild for these guys. This is Molgoth the Cleaver, and he is.
What has that dude been doing?
Amongst the Blight Templars. There's a lot to talk about here, but essentially, think of him as a superior henchman level character, which your heroes are going to really struggle to fight.
Yeah.
Everything about this model just screams.
That arm reminds me of the episode of Rick and Morty where Morty gets the arm in like the post-apocalyptic world.
If you've got the time, some of the things on there, that
Like the arm goes and like murders people.
that huge axe.
For me, it's the debossed fly on his breastplate. It just looks really good.
He's got antlers there as well. That's kind of a recurring theme across some of these Nurgle miniatures, is the corruption of the realm of Gyron, which previously would have had, antlers would have been a symbol of the hunter.
I will say the terrain they've done around this.
Fantastic. Where do we go from here? This is Foulhoof, the shaman. He's the nominal leader of the Pestigoric. Infest the Jade Abbey. He's a fantastic model, and I can imagine you'll find some use for him beyond Darkwater, should you so desire.
Yeah, he looks like a fairly unpleasant character.
He's really cool.
Leading those Pestigor also gives a little bit of magical trouble for your heroes to have to deal with.
I really like him. Foulhoof's cool. I think that's probably my favourite mini so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's more.
This is perhaps the most disturbing model in the set.
It's super gross.
It gets worse the longer you look at it. This is Belga the Sistwitch. So within the Jade Abbey, back when it was a
wait, she's got forearms.
There was an order of sisters that maintained the sacred waters there, and she was a jealous and grasping lady who wanted the water she was due, and so she sided with the coup that eventually.
Oh wait, she's the bug.
And this is her reward. She has an enormous maggoty body that appears from.
Oh wow, she's.
It's just absolutely
really cool.
There are 2 more sisters also in the body, if you look carefully. This is completely repugnant in absolutely the best way.
Yeah. Absolutely gross. Absolutely gross. But there's more that's not quite finished yet. Last up, we have the leader of the forces of Nurgle, the Gelgus Hust, who is a demon prince of Nurgle, squatting at the center of the Jade Abbey, leading those forces, a former Templar of the Abbey himself, risen to demonhood for infesting the Jade Abbey in the name of Nurgle. Absolutely.
He's really cool. The characters in this, the bad guy characters,
everything about this
are insanely cool.
Superior, boss character. He's enormous, he's powerful, and he's going to be great in this game. And also, I think if you're a collector of the Maggotkin of Nurgle in general, you're going to be very excited to have him in your collection too.
No, they've said he.
So we've talked at some length about the different.
He's a former Templar, is what they said.
It's all really just an incredible selection of models for you to play your games with. But there's more to the set than just that. So let's look at some of the other things that come inside it and help you play your games.
Hopefully.
This sound is terrible.
Put it all back in at the end of the night. So this book here is your map for when you're playing Warhammer Quest Darkwater. It's an incredible map book. The next image will show you what it looks like when you open it up. Every scenario inside the game is a different spread within this map book. So you lay it open, it lies flat. What this means for your gaming night is that you can be playing inside of 5 minutes, right? You get your friends round, you decide which scenario you're playing, you lay your map down, and you are playing immediately.
I think that it's very handy. It's very quick. Each level represents like a different delving into the Jade Abbey itself. I think.
Okay, map book.
How this works, it's probably best to see it for yourselves. And we do have a copy of the box, so I'm going to run off for 1 second and grab that. And Adam's going to tell you all about it.
So I will narrate for a moment while Eddie goes and gets the box. We managed to secure one and bring it across from over the ocean. So while Eddie opens that up, he might be able to show you some of the frames that come in it, as well as the sort of the materials to do with the gaming. So there we go. We've got the camera on it now. So this is the frame that all the heroes come on. So you see they're all sort of easy to build models, as in they're relatively simple to put together. The heroes come on beige color frame. So if you don't want to paint your models before you play your first game, you don't have to. You'll be able to tell who's who, because all the bad guys will be grey and all the good guys will be this sort of bony color. Yeah, so Eddie's got the frame which has got the sort of the character villains on it. On the back of Gelga's bust, he has folded fly wings. He's a really disgusting character. Deep inside the box, there's a second box, and that's where all of the sort of the material for playing the game is found. So it's full of cards and things. On the right-hand side of the screen now, as you look at it, that's the map book. If we can convince him to open it up, you'll see exactly what it all looks like. So he's just set up a map.
Oh,
the game.
okay.
If you've ever spent hours hunting around for the right tile, this is going to make your games night with your friends and family.
I don't mind this. That is a cool idea.
Responding really quite warmly to this. Each of these is an entirely different scenario and situation, which means you've got hours and hours.
That's actually really cool.
As you delve through the Jade Abbey and attempt to deliver it from the hands of Gelga's bust. That was cool.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Right.
I really dig that map book though. That's such a cool idea.
Some Age of Sigmar Nurgle.
I'll be interested to see how long that
There was
lasts.
more than just the Nurgle stuff that was in that box.
Why don't we see what's next up on the show?
Alright, what are we seeing next?
Waiting for the next image to arrive. Actually, we're going to take a technical break for 2 minutes, and we'll be right back.
A technical break. Oh. Ha! Technical break, eh? Try and fix some of it. That book, though, that is such a cool idea. Yeah, it looks like they've like built the book well. It looks all really cool. What you could do with that is you could easily like go photocopy that. You could go photocopy all of those and like laminate them if you want to make like hard copies. One of the comments I just saw on their chat, how can a teenage YouTuber get perfect audio but they can't? Ronya, what are you doing up at 2 AM? You're seeing how terrible a multi-billion-dollar company stream can be. Because, Curse City was around the 325 mark, so I'm gonna say 350, 375, 385 maybe. There's a lot of minis in there. I hope it's not. I don't know costings, so I've not been purchasing a lot of new releases lately because I've been like finishing off old projects. Has been like my big thing at the moment. I want to get stuff I have on the table done. And the only new stuff really I've got coming in is stuff that's being sent to me by companies. Someone's like, I blame the tariffs. That Warhammer quest, Ronya, you like Nurgle, you are going to love that. Look at all those models. It was like, next big reveal will be new mics. Oh, people are toasting them in their chat. you feel, because like it's nothing to do with like Eddie and that are on the stream. Like, they're doing their best. Like, they're presenters. Like, I hope they have people that are behind the scenes for them. Having met many, like having got to meet some of the people that I did when I was in Melbourne that like work on like the community team and that, like they are amazing people. So I'd be surprised if they have a stream there, and if they are not, like, literally it's not just like Eddie and that having to do it. And like, look, some people in the chat on their one are going like, why wasn't it pre-recorded? And well, they did the pre-recorded one, but people hated them. Like, people said no, like, we like seeing and like having them talk to us. We like having a conversation with like Eddie and Adam, which is like true. I always enjoy Adam Trope, and I feel Adam especially. Adam has such like a passion for Warhammer that makes their streams really watchable. Like, he is the big reason I will watch their thing. They need like those people. I feel like it's so much more personal. It's so much more, it seems like, you know, it's getting shown off. Oh yeah, and they can still test the stuff that's going on. Like, sure, 100%. But like, I know people are like, oh, we want to like one that just pre-record it was something someone's commented. It's like, no one wanted that. We hated it when we saw it. I've done the reveal shows when they did those, and they're just not fun. They lack that little bit of back and forth. They lack that little bit of personality to them. They seem stale. I don't like it. I like when they do these live streams live. I just wish it would be better than what it's been today. Yeah. To me, like, they're just getting an echo from their mics. It sounds like their audio input. It sounds like their audio input is picking up their mic that they're talking to everyone with and their mic that we're recording with. They're getting two separate mics where it should, like, just pick up their input, not their output. That's what it sounds like to me. But all in all, like, that box set was amazing. There were so many cool minis in that box set. Like, just it's the echo. Like, immediately, that's the one where I know, like, I'm getting two audio inputs. I'm picking up output and input. It's straight away what I thought when I started hearing it. That, or one of their mics reflecting off a mic, maybe. But then, like, they didn't have an audience mic. You couldn't hear the audience, remember? So that's weird, because that means, like, the input. I will say, I think my favorite model is, like, from a model design purpose, I think that priestess, the Jade Abbey priestess, I think she's the best model in the set. I really dig, like, the idea of, like, the water's connecting to the back of the staff. So if you look at it from the front, the water's actually not touching the sword. There's two different parts of the water. I thought that was really, really cool. Yeah, I can't see that American dude with the big arm without thinking of that episode of Rick and Morty, where Morty, in the post-apocalyptic world, where Morty gets the arm. Essentially, there's an episode where Morty, the young boy character, gets a arm from, like, some barbarian dude that goes on a murderous rampage because it has a mind of its own. He gets it attached to his instead of his arm. And that's all it reminds me of, because it's like this giant, like, muscle man, like, barbarian post-apocalyptic warrior's arm on tiny scrawny kid. It just reminds me of that. That's all I see when I see that now. What episode did I randomly watch the other day? I watched the Snake episode the other day, randomly, of Rick and Morty. Snake Jazz. Leaderboards are per chat, Ronya, so you need to be on the actual chats. Please don't start again. We've seen it. Go to Warhammer community. Just don't start again. So I'm gonna start painting again because that'll get it back on. I'll open up, I'll start painting, and then it'll be starting again. Oh, crap. I just saw the best comment. Someone's like, we'll get the Epstein files before this stream starts again. Oh dear God. Best comment goes to that person.
Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully we are back alive on the stream.
Oh my god.
We have thank you very much for staying with us through those technical difficulties. We have just seen the incredible new Warhammer Quest Darkwater, and we're going to move swiftly on, as quickly as we can, to the rest of our amazing miniatures coming up soon.
We're staying in the mortal realms of more Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
Deep.
Let's roll the next slide.
Audio can't
Here
still be
we
this bad.
go. So we've seen Darkwater. What would be cool after all those fantastic miniatures would be if we'd had a bit more Maggotkin of Nurgle.
Oh. Oh, that's disgusting. New Blight Kings. Festus. Sloven Knights. Yeah, a new Festus.
What a fantastic reveal.
How are their mics worse?
What a fantastic reveal of new Maggotkin of Nurgle for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. The crowd really received some of those things in an exciting way. Eddie, let's start breaking down what we just saw.
Absolutely. So this is an enormous new expansion for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Maggotkin of Nurgle. There are loads of new kits. This is the largest release of Maggotkin of Nurgle we've had really since the end times, when we saw a huge wave of miniatures come out. Let's start off with the Pestigors. This is even more Pestigors coming out, in addition to the ones that are coming out in the Warhammer Quest Darkwater. These are a different kit. This is a multi-part plastic kit.
How is the audio worse?
And they are just as gross and weird and goat-like as you would hope a Pestigor unit would be.
Yeah, fantastic. And you can see sort of all the hallmarks you'd expect from Pestigor, the horrible distended flesh and lesions and buboes and things. And it's a perfect unit to sacrifice in battle as you're trying to win glory for Nurgle.
Absolutely. If you ever wonder what it looked like if you shave a very ill goat and give it a halberd and then send it into combat, this is exactly what that looks like.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. But they're not the only new infantry models that we saw in this tranche of reveals. I'm really excited by the next one. We have the Rot Swords. He says a little early. There we go. These are the Rot Swords, which are a line infantry unit for the Maggotkin of Nurgle. Think in a Nurgle force. They are incredibly durable, highly skilled warriors who can absolutely take a beating and keep on fighting through it.
Yeah, this is your battle line unit effectively for Maggotkin of Nurgle. There's a nice multi-part kit there. You've got banners, musicians, champions in there. This is the thing that's going to be...
So for me, I think they've
able to kind of take the charge from enemy units. They can obviously dish out the pain because they've got Nurgle weapons that can infest their enemies as well. But this is just a unit that can take a charge like almost no other in Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fantastic opportunities here for painting and doing brilliant effects. The models are so detailed, but I think you could also paint these very quickly if you wanted to as well. I look at these and think, how you could apply contrast paints to them and get some brilliant effects.
Yeah, they wash up really nicely if you've got kind of ways that want to do
Not Ronya.
or get some you can paint Nurgle very messily if you want to and get away with it, or you can really spend your time and make them very beautiful if you wanted to.
Fantastic. We saw more than just these. The next unit on the way are the Putrid Blight Kings. We've been familiar with Putrid Blight Kings for a while. This unit has received something of a glow up, a little bit of a change of the aesthetic. They now really are the priest vision.
Other weapons. That's essentially what this is to
There's a
me.
theme across a lot of the Maggotkin of Nurgle, which is the corruption of the realm of life, and you see that there with those mutated, horrible antlers. So they've taken symbols of life and abundance and corrupted it, and they are just an absolutely horrendous looking unit. They look lovely on the battlefield alongside the rest of your Nurgle things. They are the same size bases, I believe, as the current
Don't sweat it if you've got lots of future Blight Kings.
Kit for the Maggotkin of Nurgle, the Sloven Knights. A very popular kit we released in a not too distant past was the Harbinger of Decay. That was the Nurgle champion on a horse, and now he has an entire unit to lead. This is a shock cavalry unit. They are effectively Nurglate Chaos Knights. They've got some really tasty rules in game.
Yeah, unit you're
The
engaging with
audio
quite large,
is
no matter
so...
what. Fantastic looking unit. But it's fair to say the main event of this release has got to be Festus the Leech Lord, a hero that we're familiar with from the world that was, now fully imbued as a demon.
In the forces of Nurgle during the end times and has been blessed by the powers of Nurgle. He's been given an enormous leech. So now the kind of Leech Lord makes sense. You got a couple of blights. Oh, that's cool. Power out of nearby enemy units, power himself up, heal himself. Just a really useful leader, really useful piece for your Nurgle armies. I think, again, this is a really good candidate for a painter as well. Loads of lovely details on the back there. He's brought his kind of weird collection of concoctions and putrid...
And learn about all of these exciting new models.
It's a great question.
Their rules, well, it will come as no surprise. There will be a new Chaos Battle Tome for Maggotkin of Nurgle. This is everything you need to understand.
More than one new book on inside the new Battle Tome. One of them is going to be made available as a new box set. This is a pustule. There's also a new Spearhead, which has, amongst other things, loads of Nurglings in.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody here play Spearhead? We've been playing a lot of Spearhead back in our office. I'm quite enjoying it. And this one gives you just a givering horde of little Nurglings to turn loose on the enemy. I'm quite excited by it. Also,
It allows you to play games in the Blighted Wild, which is within the either.
there we go. That was our Warhammer Age of Sigmar segment.
Was it?
How we doing? Right. So, we're going to take a little year. So 2026 is looking very good.
This is my only chance to atone. What were those things?
Eldari. We shall risk everything for this.
How do we fight ghosts?
Then this war will last forever. Begin the ritual. The next wave of greenskins will soon reach our world.
The Emperor will see us through this.
Okay, this is actually cool, seeing some like the behind the scenes stuff.
We will not abandon these souls. You have my word. Merciful Emperor.
That was really cool.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. We saw loads of like snippets from forthcoming animations for Warhammer Plus. Eddie, give us some insight into some of what we saw.
Yeah, so we're not going to go into too much detail today in terms of the names of some of those things, the titles of them, but we can tell you some of the things about them. These are new animations on their way from Warhammer Plus very soon. There's some factions we absolutely saw there. We've got some Sisters of Battle, Order of the Sacred Rose. There's some Eldari on the way. Aeronautica Imperialis make an appearance. There's some Orcs. There's a couple of Space Marines in the mix there. We've also got the finale of the current season of Black Talon on its way very soon with Be'lakor and Eternus up to their mischievous, devious tricks again. Also in that, we got to see some of the incredible behind-the-scenes work that people do.
That was the thing I thought was really exciting, was seeing the incredible amount of effort and talent that's going into these shows to make them so good, right? When we saw sort of the orchestra playing the score and then the voice actress performing the lines, really gives you a sense of how much work's going into these shows.
Yeah, there's a lot of very talented people doing a lot of very good work there, and we kind of make sure to kind of push the quality really hard to make sure that Warhammer can be the best it can be.
Fantastic. All of these shows will be coming to Warhammer Plus in 2026, right?
So Black Talon will be on its way before that. That's going to be released this year, and then the rest of those shows are on their way in 26.
Fantastic. And I'm just going to press you a little bit. When the camera panned out and you saw the desks with the monitors, Those were Space Marine Terminators.
Okay, they did look like Space Marine Terminators.
Is that a clue for a starting team?
I mean, it could be. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm probably too excited. Right. So that was fun. If you want to watch all of those shows and loads more besides, Warhammer Plus is where you'll find them all. So we need to go now to the Age of Darkness and the Horus Heresy.
All right, let's see what we get for Horus Heresy, hey?
Fantastic. So we've got some exciting things coming down the road for the Horus Heresy very soon. Here are our first reveals. We are looking at the Legiones Astartes Siege Assault Battle Group. What is a Siege Assault Battle Group, I hear you say? Well, good news, we can explain it.
This is effectively a new box set with loads of new miniatures and a couple of returning ones as well. Let's have a look at some of the models. To start off with, we have the much anticipated Mark III Legion Breacher Squad. This is your Space Marines in iron armor with enormous big shields and all sorts of specialist breaching weapons.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that iron armor is the greatest mark of armor ever invented, and that breachers are the greatest type of Space Marines ever invented. But these ones are just for me.
These are just for you. You've got all the things you would want from a breacher squad in this. You've, of course, got shields and bolt guns. You've also got grav guns in there, cutters for getting through there, bits to make your sergeant, everything you would need from a Legion breacher squad.
Yeah, fantastic. Backing them up in their mission to launch siege assaults, we have the very welcome new Cataphracti Terminators.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is two kits on their way for Cataphracti Terminators. You've got this one we can see right now with Volkite Charges and Power Balls, and there is also a kit on the way with Combi Bolters and Power Fists. Both of these kits also include upgrades for things like heavy weapons. You've got heavy flamers, autocannons, that sort of thing. And these Cataphracti are now scaled in line with the rest in a fight.
Fantastic. And I think one of the more popular marks of Terminator armor as well is Cataphracti.
Yeah, certainly up there. Also in this box set, you have a Leviathan Siege Dreadnought. He isn't new, but he is awesome. He comes with these guys in the box as well. The miniatures will also be available separately as well. So if for some reason you didn't want a Leviathan Dreadnought in your life, it should be crazy. If you didn't want it, you can get these Terminators and the Breacher Squad separately as well.
Fantastic. So all of these things are united by their like of sieging. It's not the only new kit or box set coming along for the Horus Heresy. There is more.
Yeah, it's
Mainly
not just about
Engineer is mind-blowing. I remember seeing it for the first time and just being absolutely like blown away by it. Let's break down what comes in this set. First are the Skitarii Battle Pilgrim Corpus. These are the predecessors to the Skitarii legions that you might know from Warhammer 40,000. At the time of the Horus Heresy, the Mechanicum splits. You end up with two fabricated generals, and the Skitarii at that time split under each of those fabricated generals. The ones that side with the War Master under Kelbor Hal go real dark.
Yeah, they like blood. They come from the planet named after the god of war, so it's no surprise really that they do like shedding blood. So certainly the traitor Skitarii go a bit off the rails. But even the loyalist ones at this point are still savage warrior pilgrims of Mars. They are irradiated fanatics.
Yeah, they're quite a different beast, aren't they? And you can see in the weapons and things that they carry how different they are. This is their leader, is the Battle Pilgrim Marshal.
Yeah, really nice multi-part plastic there. You can see some of the different options. You've got, I'm not even sure what the weapons are called, but you've got a stabby one, a punchy one, and a zappy one.
I mean, that's... He's got,
even the service skull head has got little options on them.
He does have a service skull. There's also another thing, there we go, the Voltrax Stratos Automata, which is available to the Skitarii Battle Pilgrims. It's a grav unit, which is pushing the edges of what's allowed. 40,000 range, you know.
Or you can include it in force, but they can also slot in quite happily into the wider Mechanicum army. So this is a great little expansion if you've already pledged yourself to Mars, to one of the various fabrications.
I discovered them because they're entirely new. They're carrying Volt Lock weapons, so Volt Lock pistols, Volt Lock arquebuses. And it's more of that like weird esoteric Martian technology that perhaps the wider Imperium hasn't got its hands on and doesn't understand.
It's either a little bit heretical or Mars just really likes it and doesn't want to share.
Yeah, absolutely. All of the rules and the lore behind these models will be contained in the Steel Hand of Mars, which is a new journal Tactica, which will be coming out for the Horus Heresy soon.
Yeah.
There we go. And here you can see some fantastic spins. We got the Marshal here. His pistol was a Volt Lock pistol, for the record. And yeah, I think if you've been enjoying collecting some of the Mechanicum models for your Horus Heresy collection, this is a really welcome addition, right? That helps you build out your force.
Absolutely. So yeah, Heresy fans getting a lot of stuff on the way very soon.
Any Legions Imperialis fans in the room? There we go. So if you like your Heresy small or just far away,
Cool,
sort of murmur went across the room. Earlier in the year, we had Saturnine release, which was the new sort of box set for the Horus Heresy. This is the bit so you can get a sense of the scale, because these are chunky models.
Oh no! What the hell has happened now, GW? Oh my god, this is so bad, this stream from them.
This is the Dreadnought, and look how big it is compared to...
We've got a lovely shot of it next to the normal Saturnine Dreadnought's plasma cannon. If you're curious about how this stacks up against your Warhammer the Horus Heresy Dreadnought, it's about the same size as this plasma cannon. But the advantage, of course, in Legions Imperialis is that you can field entire formations of these guys, right? So you can have an entire Saturnine army of things, hundreds of Terminators on the battlefield.
Yeah, also inside this Saturnine battle group, you get some other great additions. You get the Mastodon and the Arachnid weapon platform and Vindicators. All the things you need to have a really great sort of central force. Should you want to unleash the technology gifted by Vulcan on the enemy?
Yeah, the Arachnid weapon platform is worth calling out some new guns it's got, now that it's in Legions Imperialis scale. Along with the quad autocannons, there is also the option for twin Punisher cannon and
the Orias heavy frag missile launcher.
Yes, so loads of different choices to put on your weapon platforms to kill whatever your opponent happens to be putting down on the battlefield.
And they look really cool when you get these panning shots.
They do, yeah.
Thanks. Nice. So, there's more for Legions Imperialis. There is an absolute deluge. This is the Legionis Astartes Combined Arms Battle Group. It's all stuff you've seen before. We won't linger on it too long, other than to say this is a great way of getting a whole bunch of Space Marines for your Legions Imperialis games. Like units and tanks and vehicles and all of the good stuff.
It's kind of an army in a box, or certainly a small army, or a very easy way to expand. This is also a box on its way for Solar Auxilia, doing a very similar sort of thing. Loads of different units. You've got some super heavies, some infantry, some scout units, some Ogrins, all sorts of stuff.
Perfect. Now, let's talk about super heavies for a moment. My favorite tank in the Horus Heresy, maybe in the entire Warhammer universe, is the Space Marine Legions Astartes Hellblade. Here it is. It comes as like a two-for kit. The other thing inside that kit we just saw is the Glaive Super Heavy.
I like a Volkite. I like the Glaive.
You're a Glaive guy.
Glaive guy.
Fantastic.
There are more super heavy tanks on their way for the Space Marines as well as the Fellblade and the Glaive. There is a second kit on its way, which makes a Falchion super heavy tank, and also a brand new super heavy tank that we've never seen before. The Ascalon super heavy tank with the largest tank portable flamer in the Age of Darkness.
You just really want to burn somebody at this point, don't you?
Yeah, that is the same size flamer that you get on Titans, just for scale.
So, the Legions Imperialis collectors, they're just eating well right now.
They're eating good. They're eating good.
Great. So, there's got to be a book to provide you with all the rules and lore about all of these things that we just showed you. You'll find that in Journal Strategia, The Ruin of the Salamanders. If you really like salamanders, don't look too close to the cover, because that is an Iron Warriors Fellblade driving over your mates. Sorry.
Someone's going to lose. Sorry, salamanders.
Right, so we're not quite done in the Age of Darkness. We need to take a tiny detour as we talk about something like new and interesting. If you've been enjoying reading and discovering the Horus Heresy series, we're introducing here for the first time a new.
Oh my freaking god, GW. What the heck is going on?
Heresy Saga, and the first volume in it is Horus Rising. What is the Horus Heresy Saga, I hear you ask? It is 12 volumes, which have been selected by the Black Library to take you through the Horus Heresy. Otherwise, you're facing like 54 books. And so what this does is it includes sort of the main story arc of the Heresy and a lot of those main events. So things like Ispan 3, Ispan 5, the Betrayal at Calth, Prospero, loads of these key events that you really need to understand to make your way through the whole of the Horus Heresy. Eddie's holding a copy of the hardback book right now. If you're in the room, come and have a look at the end of the show. It's a beautiful volume, fantastic new artwork. There'll be a paperback edition coming in the future afterwards as well. These are intended for people who maybe, a lot of us in this room have probably followed the Horus Heresy for years, right? But if you're new and you want to know where to start, well, this is a fantastic starting point. Horus Rising is one of the most popular books in all of the Black Library, and it's exciting to see it in a new imprint.
I'm going to see if we can get some shots of this.
There we go. Exciting. Right. I guess the thing to talk about with Horus Rising is this is kind of the book that like launched the Horus Heresy into the fame and the notoriety that we're familiar with today. There we go. What a lovely book. There we go. The cover art is fantastic. Horus Lupercal looks like a really swell guy.
I would follow him, definitely.
I think
he's like a great guy.
It's all going to turn out just fine. Who wouldn't trust that guy? Fantastic. Right. So,
All right.
we are moving on now. We've been to the Edge of Darkness. Let's return for a moment to the old world if we can.
Oh, old world. Cool.
So, let's play the video.
What are we going to
The
see?
enemy are at the walls.
Cathay.
Now is the time for every citizen to take up arms. The great mages of the Celestial Court stand with us. Together, we defend our homeland. This great bastion has stood for 3,000 years. It shall not fall today.
Oh, okay, like peasant archers and stuff, mage, armless, cannons that we see in game.
That was pretty cool.
Yes. So, Warhammer the Old World obviously has come back. We've gone back to the world that was. It's been a lot of fun for those of us who have gone there. One of the huge stories out of Warhammer the Old World, of course, has been Cathay, which is an army we'd never previously had a chance to visit. We had that army released in the not too distant past, and very exciting release, and this is a huge expansion for that faction. There's loads of good stuff on the way, including Astromancers of the Celestial Court.
So until now, if you've been using a Grand Cathay army, you've been a little bit limited for your choices of spellcasters on the battlefield, your wizard options. So the Astromancers provide you with a foot,
Hello, wifey.
a foot wizard and a mounted wizard, so you can include them in your units or have them deploying around the battlefield where you need them most. And provide you with some much-needed magical backup.
Yeah. Multi-part plastic kit as well. So really, lots of cool little options in there. You can have a look at the different heads and staffs.
This
and
looks really
hats
cool.
and things
Like
that.
new stuff for Cathay. I should get my other
well.
Cathay
There's a
stuff
little
and get that
throwback
painted up.
within.
Which is a familiar if you were wondering what it does in the game. Right. Now, in the narrative of what's taking place in the old world right now, a lot of the army of Grand Cathay has deployed to the old world proper to help.
I would
reinforce
love
against
a
the
coffee,
hordes of
babe.
chaos,
Thank you
which are
very
massing,
much.
in the north, and that leaves the peasant levies the responsibility of manning the Great Bastion. And so that's what we have here is some of the peasant levy.
I mean,
these are just
going with how
citizens and
GW is
soldiers
doing their
armed to arms.
stream,
You can see them with bows.
yeah, this could take another like
There's not
hour.
been a lot of missile,
Maybe a Dodgy coffee would be
units
great.
in
Hey,
Grand Cathay except for its artillery pieces until now. So these are a really welcome unit. We've also got them with spears if you want.
Yeah, in game terms, this also gives you like a really useful disposable unit that you
That's
can
where I
have.
was going,
So, currently, you're having to rely on your Jade Warriors, which are really the elite of your forces. But sometimes you just need a unit to kind of get in the way of something, or to block a charge, or to fall back, or just to die so that other units don't have to. And peasants give you that option, basically.
It's a cruel world.
It's a cruel world.
Now, we talked a little about missile units available to the armies of Grand Cathay. And there are 2 new missile units on the way as part of this reinforcement set. The first is the Iron Hell Gunners. The forges of Nangao have been blazing hot to make new weapons and munitions for the armies of Grand Cathay. The Iron Hell Gunners are functionally blunderbusses. These things tear through heavy infantry at short range, devastating missile troops. And they're reinforced by the Iron Hell Gunners, which you just saw there. So there's 2 units inside this reinforcement set. The Iron Hail, short range, devastating against large units, and then you've got the Crane Gunners, which we'll go to next. So you can see they've got the purveyors to protect them from incoming fire, and then they've got these extremely powerful arquebus-style weapons. The detailing on them is the thing that really excites me. The sort of the fluting on the barrel, all of the the telescopic sights, everything about these just really screams like intricate detail and sculptural work that the Grand Cathay Army is quite known for.
Absolutely, and together, added into the artillery you've already got as part of the Cathayan army, you can make an incredibly powerful shooting army for the armies of
I need to get my
Cathay.
Cathay painted
If you
up
wanted
after
to
this.
just put
Gotta
missiles
get on my
on the
project for
battlefield,
this.
have archers and firepower and artillery and rockets and all sorts of stuff, you could make probably the most formidable shooting army in the old world, which is pretty
Yeah,
powerful.
you're certainly right there, aren't you? All of these things will be available first as part of the Defenders of the Grand Bastion, which is a reinforcement set. If you've not collected a Grand Cathay army before, you could use this as a starter, but it's really intended as that big block of reinforcements for your existing force. And it's,
Well, grab
we should
this.
talk about when this is due out. It's going to be out like late winter into spring next year.
Yeah, so a little bit of a wait, but not too long. So if you like the look of those and you've not got any Cathay and stuff yet,
So they mean
pick up some
Northern
Cathay
Hemisphere
now,
for that,
get your
so.
army ready, and the reinforcements will be along sooner than you know it.
With a little bit of foreshadowing, I mentioned that a lot of the army of Grand Cathay within the narrative of the unfolding lore has gone to the old world to fight against chaos. This book's called The Breaching of the Great Bastion, and it all does not look well back in Grand Cathay. You can see it's all on fire. And so I think we're going to see what the peasant levy is going to have to be dealing with within the story as it unfolds in the old world.
Absolutely, a very exciting expansion for the old world and for Grand Cathay in particular.
So that was good.
That was fun.
Why don't we go forward and have a little bit of a look at Necromunda?
Let's do it.
Okay, so the 40k review is going to be huge.
So, Necromunda, there's quite a response to Necromunda here in the room. There's been a narrative sort of event taking place within Necromunda for a few years now. And you see here, this is a new book that's coming for Necromunda. It's called Spire of Primus. This is part of the Aranthian succession story that's unfolding. There's been a real power struggle on the planet of Necromunda. The planetary governor was deposed, presumed dead. Noble houses have been vying for power. And this book continues and culminates some of that story with the real appearance and arrival of a major player within the power structure of Necromunda. This is Ozostium Aranthus. Now, the arc is called the Aranthian Succession, and Ozostium Aranthus is a presence that has been on Necromunda since before the birth of the Imperium.
He's really old, really old.
He looks well for it, right?
Yeah,
Everything
he looks
seems fine. If you want to see just how he looks under his helmet, on warhammercommunity.com, there's a picture of him without his helmet on. He's not a well man. So essentially, he is attempting the ultimate power coup to take control of Necromunda. I don't want to spoil who and what he is too much, other than to say he's got a really dark and unpleasant past, and I wouldn't want him in charge of my planet. He's not the good guys.
Yeah.
Or maybe he is if you like that sort of thing.
But there's a lot of other kits on the way as well for Necromunda. It's a fairly sizable release of stuff, actually.
Yeah, we've got a few things to talk about. These are the Palanite Justicars. You've seen Palanite Enforcers before. It's the responsibility of, on every planet in the Imperium, for the planetary governor to maintain law and order. That's not the job of the Adeptus Arbites. They enforce the Lex Imperialis. So this is part of that law and order. Palanite Justicars, in particular, dispense justice to the noble houses. And so what you've got here is almost like a snatch squad, right? You've got bailiffs, you've got the one with his man catcher, you've got an executioner. These are going to descend into the hive and wreak justice on wrongdoers. And you can ally them alongside law-abiding gangs within your Necromunda campaigns. They're just fantastic.
I love the servo skull has a wig.
It does, yeah. It's got that whole sort of a barrister-looking aesthetic going on. There's some cool things to talk about here. The man catcher is a Fullman pattern man catcher, and you can build them in a variety of ways. So he could be built onto the guy who's kneeling down and whatever. So there's some options here. I'm being told to hold my microphone more effectively. Yeah, so fantastic if you're enjoying the Palanites.
These are really
and
cool.
you want
Necromunda
to
always
add to your
just
law-abiding gang.
puts out amazing
Not the
models.
only expansion. Necromunda saw a couple of years back saw the return of the squats. These are the Ironhead Squat Charter Masters and Drill Masters. This is an expansion for your Ironhead Squat gangs. They provide you with some elite specialist gang champion situation here. They're just brilliant, right? Who doesn't want like a new squat with a pipe and a power axe?
So the idea of these is that champions that add on to an existing Necromunda gang. You could probably make a gang out of it, but the idea is that really this is an expansion. The existing squats that you've already got, these are kind of the elite. These are what Charter Masters effectively means that they've earned their high rank within the squat hierarchy, and as a result, kitted out with some of the best equipment. They've got very good armor, they've got very good guns. These are going to pack a punch in your games.
Yeah, and like within this, there's specific specialists that do specific things. So one of them is the Exomaster. You see the bigger suit. They've got like this incredible understanding of like how the mining processes work and chem harvesting, and they've got the gear to do it, but it's also incredibly useful war gear. Or you've got the Drill Masters. And the Drill Master control, I think he's called a White Autoveyor. Is this weird little sort of tracked unit that you might have seen in some of the shops. A great addition to your Necromunda gangs, and you can use them as part of your Ironhead Squat Prospectors. There you go.
Excellent.
Right. Whew, that is Necromunda.
Coffee has arrived.
It's time to go to the grim darkness of the far future.
All right. What are we going to see for?
We have a bunch of new stuff for Warhammer 40,000 for you today. Some incredible new miniatures across a range of different factions. I want to start off with some new character models for some of our Xenos factions.
Ooh.
This
Thanks, babe.
is Beric Stormbrow. He is a Chthonic Berserker character.
wow.
He can lead your units with Chthonic Berserkers. And the lore for this guy is that he is an expert orc hunter. He's lost his hands.
Nate, you got your wish.
Against
You
orcs.
got more
They've
votes in.
blasted off in some kind of horrific bout of firepower. But he is so tough. He's just got some new bionic ones. He's not overly troubled by it. He is a particularly tough kin. He has a clone scheme that makes him even more durable than the already durable Leagues of Votan already are. He goes right at the front of your army, in the middle of your Chthonic Berserkers, leads that unit into combat. He gives them explosive hits in combat. He does all sorts of horrible things to your opponent's army and makes an absolute mess of whatever you send him into.
And the orcs got a nosebleed. Right.
You have to punch it up really hard to make its nosebleeds.
I would think so. He's not the only new character model coming. Here we see the Twin Lance, part of the Tau Empire. Eddie, what are the Twin Lance?
So the Twin Lance are a new pair of special characters for the Tau Empire. Those of you who know your Tau Empire lore will know that Farsight was once the exemplar of the Mondkar, the killing blow within the Tau Empire, but he's sort of fallen out of favor with the Ethereals. They don't really like to put him on the posters and the propaganda anymore. So they were looking for someone new to represent the Mondkar within the Tau Empire. So they found these guys, the Twin Lance. This is a male and a female Tau who were once part of three warriors who went around together, but one of them was killed by a Gene Stealer Patriarch. These two responded with a perfect exemplar of the killing blow and managed to take out the leader of the Gene Stealer uprising. And from that point onwards, they were lauded as heroes of the Tau Empire. And now they go between the different septs, fighting wherever the Ethereals tell them to. One of the things to note about them that's quite cool is that they don't have the markings of any specific sept within the Tau Empire on them, because they are heroes for all of the people of the Tau, for all of the greater good. They can fight alongside any of the septs you want, which means you can put them in
This is
any
really
Tau
cool.
armies, regardless of what color you painted them.
So these are obviously characters that
They
are going to come out
very
in like
good
a
at
narrative
going
campaign.
in very close and killing the thing you really want them to kill. One of them has a fusion-style weapon. One of them has a flamer-style weapon. So whether you want to melt a tank or burn some infantry, they are the Tau for the job.
Yeah, they have individual names, so they are known as the Twin Lance. You have Sunseer, who has the Fusion Eliminator, and then you have Scatterflare, who uses an Ion Scatter Cannon. So you can see them here. The Ion Scatter Cannon is the one on the screen left. And yeah, they've got different specializations. Just fantastic new character models for your Tau Empire army. There's more. This is This is very exciting for me. I'm a Tyranny collector. I have a nice Tyranid army at home, this is a new synapse leader for your Tyranid army in the Tyranid Prime with Lash Whip.
I mean, it sort of does what it says on the tin. This is the Tyranid Prime with a Lash Whip. You know what a Tyranid Prime is? You know what a Lash Whip is? This is the Tyranid Prime with a Lash Whip. It's a lovely miniature. It's in a really cool dynamic pose. It's the first time we've had a dedicated miniature to represent a Tyranid Prime infantry version. This is a character that you can put in amongst either Tyranid warriors or one of your infantry units. Makes that unit
We're looking
more
at all the
efficient,
new
obviously
Warhammer
gives
stuff coming out, buddy.
synaptic benefits as well. But I think just a really awesome Tyranid model, actually. Just really great to have something new to paint.
Yeah, we should say these three releases that we just described, so Berek and the Twin Spear and the Tyranid Prime with Lash Whip, we're expecting to see them released into the new year, so think more like springtime. I think.
Yeah, it's a little way off yet, but we just wanted to show you some cool stuff.
Exactly, it's always nice. There is a lot more for Warhammer 40,000 for us to show. I believe we've got a little video.
Yeah.
The Primarch Reborn demands the impossible.
Custodes?
They await your presence, my lord. He commands us to reconquer the 500 worlds of Ultramar. In the 10,000 years between his death and rebirth, how many worlds have been scoured by the archenemy? Devoured by the monsters of the hive mind? Sacrificed on the altar of Exterminatus. He is a demigod out of time.
That's Kargar.
Fighting for a golden age that can never dawn again.
Welcome home. Rise, Demetrian Titus, master of the Watch, captain of the Second Company.
Titus is captain of the second.
Of Ultramar.
The Primarch Reborn demands the impossible.
Titus, the captain of the second. Okay.
Only in death does duty end.
That was awesome.
So,
I'm
Titus
a huge
is the dude
fan
from
of
Space
Captain
Marine, the game.
Titus. I followed him through Space Marine, the original game, many years ago. I've put too many hours to account into Space Marine 2, and here we see his narrative is progressing. Tell us more, Eddie.
So this is an important piece of Warhammer 40,000 lore, and especially important for Captain Titus. Those of you who played Space Marine 2, the computer game, will know that the last time we saw Titus, he was a lieutenant of the Ultramarines, recently returned from exile in the Death Watch, and he has sort of come back, the prodigal son returned sort of thing. We now know, thanks to this new piece of information, that he has become the captain of the Second Company once more. His journey is complete, his redemption is complete, and he is now leading the Second Company. But that is a job that comes with a lot of responsibility. He is the Warden of Ultramar, and he has been tasked by the Primarch Reboot Guilliman with retaking the 500 worlds of Ultramar, which was an enormous thing for Guilliman back in the age of the Horus Heresy, but many of those worlds have been lost. He has been tasked with reclaiming them with the troops he has to hand.
So let's see what those troops look like.
Great War Veterans. He looks freaking sweet. Oh, actually getting McCrag like guard. Okay, that 500 Welsh things is a thing.
Fantastic. So here we see Captain Titus and the Wardens of Ultramar. This is a new plastic kit that is coming out for the Ultramarines chapter. This is Titus and his command staff as he embarks on this quest to reunify the 500 worlds of Ultramar.
Absolutely. We know that we've had quite a lot of Ultramarine releases recently, but I think for Titus, we can have one more. I think that's okay, right? He's kind of cool. He's kind of cool. So this is Captain Titus. He has brought with him his brilliant chainsword, which we know from Space Marine 2.
I've got a lot of hours in with that.
Yes, a lot. I've killed a lot of Tyranids with that chainsword. He has the mantle of the captain once more, so all the regalia that you'd expect of that position. A very cool cloak, and he is at the centre of that new box set. But it's not just him. He's brought with him his entourage.
Possibly my favourite Space Marine in the whole galaxy. Anybody here seen Secret Level? In the chat, have you seen Secret Level? If you haven't, you need to go and watch it. It's an incredible animation that we made in partnership with Amazon as part of their Secret Level series. Matoris is the veteran sergeant who recruited Titus as a boy. And here they are reunited in this plastic kit. Matoris is going to help Titus on his quest to reunify these 500 worlds.
Yeah, he is a sergeant of the Blade Guard, so as you can imagine, he is a very, very competent combatant, and you can watch him be a very competent combatant in the Secret Level episode. He's not the only Space Marine to accompany Titus, of course. Ancient Gabriel, this guy had your back all the way through Space Marine 2. He has now been given the banner of the second company. He is the Ancient of Titus's command squad.
It's nice to have friends, right?
It's nice to have friends.
Yeah, speaking of friends, there's a suite of other important characters who are going to help Titus in his mission. Here we have Commodore Gaius Silver, a commander within the fleet of Ultramar, responsible for making sure that the fleet logistics and the naval battles and things that are going to take place go smoothly.
Titus is cool. This is really, really
there's
cool.
more. He's got a staff of human helpers. This is astropath Daniel Cornelius. A powerful astropath. In 40k terms, this is the only way to stay in touch with your friends.
Yeah, Titus is the captain of the second company, the warden of Ultramar. He has almost constant communication from all the various planets within Ultramar and the forces that he's trying to command to keep hold of them and take new ones. So it's vital that he keeps an astropath nearby at almost all times. Interesting kind of that we are able to see all the humans that accompany Titus, because Ultramar is a kind of slightly unusual part of the Imperium in that not only do the Ultramarines have to go and kill all the aliens there and make sure that they drive back the forces of the heretics, they also lord over the humans of that region as well. They command the humans and run Ultramar as a sort of mini empire within an empire.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Plenipotentiary Lucia Vesta. They go ahead, this character goes ahead of Titus kind of as a messenger, but also as an explorer, so sort of scouting ahead and working out which of the 500 worlds that are lost are able to be reclaimed and helping him with that mission. And possibly my favorite of the human helpers, this is Amelia Minervus, the Legatus, a ranking officer within the Ultramar Auxilia.
Yeah, absolutely. The Ultramar Auxilia are the human forces of Ultramar that battle very similar to the Astra Militarum alongside the Ultramarines, trying to retain those 500 worlds and defend the borders of Ultramar from aggressive alien forces and heretics.
So the idea with this set is that it's essentially Titus and his command staff, and it's a fantastic leadership unit to use in your games, brilliantly characterful models, and also really starts to help tell the narrative of this event that's taking place with the 500 worlds. Speaking of which, Eddie, do you want to get the book?
Look at the book.
We've got the book here today, so we can get it out and show you. This is Warhammer 40,000 500 Worlds Titus. It is when we say book, that's a little bit misleading. Here you can see it's a mighty slipcase that contains 4 volumes to it. What these volumes do is each has a slightly different thing. So you have the first of these books is called Titus. It's the lore, it's 80 pages of the narrative and the background that explains the events that are taking place. You then have Dread Incursions. Dread Incursions are the way to play boarding actions and sort of close confines battles as they go from place to place. So we've seen some fantastic terrain come out for Kill Team, which would be really useful for doing some of those sort of boarding action style situations. We've also got the War on Vespertor Front as a campaign. Anybody here enjoying the grand narrative this weekend might find this extremely appealing, because this is a complete campaign system. In the background of this shot here now, you can see the map that comes, oh, we've just lost it, but there's an enormous map that comes with this set. There's loads of stickers that you can sort of track the progress of your campaign with you and your friends as you battle for the 500 worlds. And finally, but by no means least, we have the detachments volume, which is 16 pages of all of the detachments and the rules that you need to use these new things in your games. They will be available online as a download or as part of the app. I don't know quite which.
Yeah, definitely available online. This is a very cool set of expansions. There's loads of good stuff in there, loads of good gaming material. It's sort of particularly themed towards those of you who enjoy the narrative
used to do books
elements
on,
of
so-
Warhammer 40,000, but as you say, Adam, the detachments will be match play compatible, but because we don't want to kind of limit them behind a big set that you have to buy, they will also be available online for those of you who want to just get the detachment. But then you'd be missing out on having an amazing campaign experience within the 500 worlds. And what this set really does is it sets up that region of space as a pivotal and important part of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, one of the most active war zones that's currently happening in Warhammer 40,000 right now, which is to say something, because there's a lot of war going on.
And
This looks
I had a chance to
pretty
read
darn
through
cool.
the Titus volume, that 80-page lore book. There are some very cool information inside there. The things that are happening within the sort of wider story of Warhammer 40,000 are really interesting. It's a compelling read.
But who are they fighting, Adam?
Well, if you've looked at the covers of those books, you might have got a subtle hint as to who the enemy that is principally causing them problems within the 500 worlds. These guys are finding themselves going up against this guy. This is Necrosaur Amantar. And who or what is Necrosaur Amantar, Eddie?
Necrosaur Amantar is effectively a deranged destroyer lord of the Necrons. He is an ancient, powerful creature, and he leads an entire army of destroyers who want none of that kind of conquest or claiming land or anything like that. He just wants to wipe out all life in the galaxy, starting with Ultramar. There are even rumors that he might have been the origin of the Destroyer curse itself amongst the Necrons, so he's a pretty big deal. He has a particularly diabolical plan. Looking at the galaxy, he goes, even though I am a 20-foot killing machine with lasers for arms, I don't think I could kill the whole galaxy, but I know something that could. I'm going to put the Nightbringer back together.
Fantastic. So the Nightbringer, you might have seen, we showed it on warhammercommunity.com. This would have been the first time you'd seen it if it hadn't have gone out as a leak. We did mention leaks in our invitation video, but here is the Catan shard of the Nightbringer. The Necrosaur, his plan is to gather all of the Catan shards so that he can get the Nightbringer together properly and just kill all life in the galaxy.
Absolutely. It's not
Sounds
just
like a lovely
the new
village.
character and the new Catan shard that will be coming out. There will be some new ways of getting Necrons into your army. There is a new battalion, which basically gives you all the destroyers. So if you like the idea of an army of undying, unkillable robots, hell-bent on destroying all life, this is the battalion for you.
Perfect. Yeah, if your jam is just
Really
psychotic,
keen on this. I've got a
undead
bunch of
robot
Necrons I
killing
need to get
machines,
finished painting.
500 worlds is going to
And
be
I've got some Ultramarines to do. Because
Perfect.
little boy wants Ultramarines.
I feel like
Don't you, Ryan? You want
Yes, yeah.
Ultramarines.
That is the end.
perfect.
He likes the blue
so
ones.
here we go. Let's just look at Titus squaring off against the enemy, and then what remains is for us to bring this to a close. Everybody who's been watching us live on the stream, thank you so much for sticking with us for our technical difficulties. We appreciate it wasn't perfect, but it's been really great to show you all these fantastic Warhammer reveals and just get a bit excited about our favorite hobby with all of you. Thank you for hanging around with us.
If you want to see any of these reveals again, you want to watch any of the videos again, you want a closer look at any of those miniatures, the Warhammer community website, if it's not already updated, will be updated very soon with lovely shots of all of those new reveals so you can spend time, look over them, and decide which of those you're most excited about and which one you want to buy.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've got burning questions about things Eddie and I didn't explain, there's a good chance that the answers will be there on Warcom, so go and have a look. I should address the 1,000 or so people in the room. Thank you all for sticking around with us as well. You have been an incredible audience. It has been a delight to share this reveal with all of you. We're going to bring this thing to a close. Thank you from Eddie and from all of the Warhammer TV team who made this possible. And thank you from myself. It's been a delight. We'll see you again next time. Good night.
Well, wasn't that something? With that said, and this has gone way longer than I planned to be out here, so I am going to go have some lunch and catch up with the family. And so thank you everyone for coming, watching, hobbying and hanging out and chatting with us while we waited for this all.